tell them no. I say to gentlemen, I'm going to do the best I can. As long as you challenge me, well, I'm gonna have a go. They all declare that they would get involved. They would appreciate something new. So I thought it best to change to the minor chord to see really who is wrong. Who's the on the tenor, bringing on the minor, up from the professor to add to the fire. I call him a rally to challenge the valley, which means desperado. No, I'm not Tokyo. You're gonna hear from minor with them steel fan from all over. You're gonna hear them as the festival is going. You are just gonna hear them as they pass, burning the grass. Sweet man, sweet man, sweet man, sweet man.
Well, hi there. Welcome to CultureShare. Are you surprised? Well, you might as well not be. It's summertime, and the summertime means the great outdoors. That's why we're in the outdoors, and of course CultureShare will be time and again on the outdoors, especially for you as we enjoy summer in the New York metropolitan area. As we normally say, what we're going to ask you to do is to stay inside while we go in the outdoors. Call your best friend, tell them CultureShare is on the air, and sit back, relax. Over the next hour, let's enjoy the music of the Caribbean. You know, CultureShare highlights the culture of Africa, the Americas, and the Caribbean, with special emphasis, of course, on the Caribbean. You know, you've seen lots of performers, Caribbean performers, calypso, reggae, and what have you, and you've seen them performing in different ways. One you've never seen is a performer on roller skates, and that's just how our first performer is going to be. Please welcome on CultureShare, Sweet P.
Give me. Oh, yeah.
I am just a soca man. I'm a two-born trained Begonian. I want your friends to understand, yeah. I've been to many foreign lands. I've been singing soca, yeah, spreading the word. I've been jamming all over the world. I've been singing, hey, yes, I've been singing. I've been jamming, yes, I've been jamming it. So stand proud and sing, 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 I say, sing the calypso. You could sing it fast, or you could sing it slow. 'Cause I'll be singing, yeah, I'll be singing, I'll be jamming, yes, I'll be jamming it. Give me home. Soca music is really nice. I said soca music is good and spice. Let it play, yes, let it play. I said soca music, let it play. Shucks. Give me. Soca music is my life. Don't wanna have to say that twice. No way. I sing my thing from dusk to dawn. To keep my culture moving strong, strong. I'll jam down Miami, yeah, burn down New York City, mash up Toronto, then back to Trinidad. I'll be singing, hey, yes, I'll be singing, I'll be jamming, yes, I'll be jamming. I stand proud and sing, 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 sing the calypso. I go sing it fast, tell me I go jam it slow. 'Cause I'll be singing, hey, I'll be singing, I'll be jamming, yes, I'll be jamming. Come in, shut. Soca music is really nice. I said soca music is good and spice. Hear this. soca for Stefan. For people to share big fun. And when they hear the steel band jamming, sure. If you say the body sway, yeah, they lifting up their hand, damn woman rolling the bam bam. Some of them winding on the man, they haven't lost the fun. Yes, I am. Hey, I am singing, shout. I am jamming. Yes, I am jamming. Tell you, I'm not proud and sing, I say, sing this calypso. Tell you, I go sing it fast. I go sing it slow. Yes, I'll be singing. I'll be singing. I'll be soca music is really sad. Soca music is good. I'll just let it play. Yes, I'll be singing. Music is headed. I'll be jamming. Yes, I'll be jamming. Good. And this is how I go be doing it.
Actually, you know, I got my P's and my D's and my T's and my I's all crossed up there. That was Sweet D, I should say, performing here on CultureShare and doing it for you on roller skates. Our next performer is what we call a real old-timer. Yes, an old-timer. Ulrich Farrell, better known as the Great Pretender, began singing calypso in the year 1929. I mean, can you imagine 1929? That's a long, long time ago. Well, he was in New York for the Great Father's Day Classic, and he took time out to speak to Roy Jones, and he explained how it all began for him way back in 1929 at the tender age of 12.
So how you feel?
Feel all right.
How has the Great One been?
Pardon?
How has the Great One been? How have you been?
I'm always one way cool as ever.
Cool as ever, and classic.
That's my motto.
And classic.
Cool and, well, that's all the calypso that I sing, whether it's humor, political or social commentary, I always be
classical.
Classical.
Why do they call you the living legend?
I've been singing calypso now 62 years, from 1929.
1929?
12 years of age.
You started at the age of 12?
Yeah.
Wow, you still actively performing? Well, I know you're going to be performing tomorrow, but you still actively, you know, in Trinidad and Tobago, you still actively perform?
Every year in the tent.
Every year in the tent? Which tent are you currently attached to?
This year I sang at the Mass Camp.
Mass Camp.
Me, right. Sparrow, Stalin, Super Blue. Prince Unique was there.
Prince Unique. Well, the great ones. Now, you say you started at the age of 12. What was it like then in 62 years ago? What was it like, you know, singing calypso music?
It wasn't like now. In those days, it had no tent like now, so you walk in any tent and sing.
That was those days. You didn't have to walk with a demo and, you know, get rehearsed and all of that. You know, in those days,
you didn't have radio much more demo.
Oh, okay. So you were just walking to a tent and just
you had
singing.
to prove yourself a calypso.
On the stage?
You had no record or radio or nothing like that.
So how did you audition to get attached to a tent?
They had no audition. You walk in, and you say the calypso and you want to sing. People always talking, but plenty of them don't know, and that is why they always criticizing the true giants of Kaiso. But like they forgetting the old pretty, some are great Kaisos I sang universally. In New York they start the Hall of Fame, but they couldn't leave out the Great Pretender's name. I've been singing Kaiso from a little boy since 1929. Always have proper lyrics and don't talk about sweet music. Good rendition, rhythm and rhyme. And year after year, pretty always there. The facts you can't ignore. I am very sure they don't make them like me anymore. Like let it. jump in the ring. Boy, of us, them fellas, could I really sing? Them was the mouthpiece, the chronicle, always defending the rights of poor people. Oh yes, we breakaway and let go, but they used to sing things that people should know. We didn't have no records or radio, is you had to prove yourself singing Kaiso. Men like Douglas Lion Attila, Radio Brawler Beginner, Caressa and the Great Executor, Muncie Daly Albany, King Irie Normandy, Mentor and Modern Inventor, Tiger Unknown and Invader, Unknown Soldier and Rascasa, Destroyer and the Great Kitchener. But as I said before, they don't make them like me anymore. This is something you ought to know. It's over 6 decades I sing in Kaiso. They change up Kaiso in all form and fashion, but I still remain a true Kaisonian. Oh yes, I love me soca and up-tempo, but me ain't letting go true Kaiso. I want you to keep these names in your head. Some good Calypsonians, both living or dead. Viking Zebra, Mighty Killer, Melody Terror, the Great Spoiler, Striker, Ziegfeld, and Conqueror, Superior, Cypher, the Great Sparrow, Blakey, Bryner, Boomer, Christo, Shorty, Duke Rose, and Valentino. Sniper, Relator, Explainer, Brigo, Funny Francine, Gypsy, and Maestro, Stalin, Chalk Dust, Shadow, Swallow, Composer, Engren, and Power, I can't ignore, but they don't make them like me anymore. Now everywhere I go, people want to know what really happened to Kaiso. I told them that I may be dead and gone, but sweet soak and Kaiso bound to live on. When some of we big boys get wiped off the map, there are plenty good young singers to fill the gap. So who hear the name, I hope they ain't ball. It's too much of good Kaisonian to call, like Tambu Baran, David Rodder, Rootsman, Screnter, Dennis Plummer, Sugarlows, Merchant, Luther, Crow, Johnny King, Crazy All-Rounder, Posa, Bali, Pink Panther, Little Natasha, Marshall Montano, Ebony Contender, the Lambo, Super Blue Protector, the Fausto, Watchman G.B., Rio Alberto, Kenny J. Lady B, and Eastlin, oh, but they don't make them like me anymore.
The Great Pretender in his performance at the Golden Pavilion. It was the Father's Day Calypso Classic, and hey, what a great performance it was. He was showered with money. As a matter of fact, he received over $200 from the crowd or from the audience as he performed and performed. Great performance from a great old-timer. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to CultureShare. Like we said at the start of the program, it is summertime in the New York area, and of course, being summertime in the United States, it's the great outdoors. That's why we're in the outdoors for you on CultureShare. So obviously you'd hear the cars passing on the street up and down, lots of noises. It's what you have on the outside, don't you? Well, from the Great Pretender, whom we had just before the commercial break, we want to go to a current Calypsonian, one of the better Calypsonians of today. He's a super performer. As a matter of fact, they tend to call him one of the craziest Calypsonians around. And if that's any signal to you, it lets you know who I'm speaking about. I'm talking about Crazy.
Just because they find Crazy moving cool people feel that I'm a fool just because I warm and kind-hearted. Certain people feel that I'm stupid, but they're making a big mistake if they're thinking so. And for their own sake, I want them to know a fool is a kind of maniac who gone off on crack, a fool who is under attack somewhere in Iraq, a man who never went to school and feel he's smarter than everybody. He is a fool who introduced bad, foolish, who afraid pussycat, don't test, crazy might be many things, I'm smarter than that. Foolish, don't test. The man who invented the nuclear bomb, I wonder if he is feeling smart. And all who believe in racialism, so silly they breaking people's heart. The man who raping at will, ain't have sense like me. And man who just kill, I smarter than he. A fool is a prime minister who is a liar. A fool is a way banker who trusts his partner. A man who living in the past and don't want to face reality. He is a mass who taking cola, foolish, who is still water, don't touch. Crazy might be many things, but I know better. Foolish, don't touch. If they want to know who's stupid, let them go around the world and see how much destruction and misery came out of a university. They say sense speak before book, but regrettable. Anyhow you look, it's foolish people. A fool is an unbeliever who destroys nature. A fool is an advocate of bad behavior. A man who does worship money and sell his whole soul for it completely. Well, he's a dummy who does ridicule, foolish, who divide and rule, don't test. Crazy might be looking cool, but I ain't no fool. Foolish, don't test. When it comes to doing foolishness, sometimes government is the greatest. Like often we see kings and presidents getting on as if they have no sense. Graduates of higher learning who want to be wise, most times they live in a fool's paradise. A fool is a politician who like corruption. A fool is a man or woman without ambition. A man who gets trapped more than once and fail to issue a proper response. He is a dust who walking with gun, foolish, who doesn't have fun, don't touch. Crazy might be looking dumb, I have my head up.
Yes, you know, we can always depend on Crazy for a real great performance. Doing it there for you on CultureShare. How about some pan music? Our next artist is called Clive Telemack. Here's a gentleman who began playing the pan 21 years ago. As a matter of fact, when he was growing up and looking at the people playing pan, he was looking at people like Len, Bugsy Sharp, among others. And in an interview with Roy Jones, he explains how it all started for him and what got him interested.
The good thing about it, well, I grew up in
you started from birth because you look like 21.
No.
Okay, yeah.
It's a little more than that, but yeah. I grew up in an environment with a lot of top players from a lot of the top bands, and the good thing about it that these guys used to rehearse downstairs where I live, you know.
Okay, when you say top players, like in terms of names?
Well, guys in I should say rated like Bugsy and those guys and things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But the good thing about it was it all used to take place under the house where I live, you know. And, but I could not play with those guys, and I was a junior, you know.
Yeah, little boy.
Yeah, I just used to have to stay on the side and watch those guys play whenever they take a break, and you know. And I could afford to just ease under the house and take up one of the sticks and play around, you know. And just doing that as often, you know, and it just built my confidence, and I started off to playing Amoko Renegades in 1972.
Amoko Renegades?
Yeah,
72.
that was the first conventional band I got involved with and played, you know, and after that I spent 18 years down by All Stars. Since that, I've been freelancing.
Okay, so you're not actually playing with a band right now?
No. As a matter of fact, I'm what you will call a freelancer. Anybody want to hire me to do probably a show or play in a competition or whatever?
You're available?
Yeah.
We're back here on CultureShare, friends, and we're taking a break away from the Trinidad acts, so to speak. And here's a group that's based in Brooklyn in the United States, a group that's made up of Caribbean folks. They've gotten together and they're making great, great music. As a matter of fact, we've had them before on CultureShare. That time they called themselves Kajama. Well, recently they've changed their name and they've referred to themselves as Mount Efwa. That's MT as in mountain, and Efwa, E-F-W-A. Mount Efwa standing for man, tree, earth, fire, water, and air. Mount Efwa. Join me and welcome here on CultureShare, the group Mount Efwa.
Babylon, whoa, and this year, stretched out his head all over the earth. To all the leaders and the people, time repent and seek him first. Yeah, holy mountain, yeah, come every nation, in the sea of creation. Decision in your head. Find your spirit within your heart. Right, yes, we got that. Find your spirit within our hearts. Come every nation in the sea of creation. Well, decision in your head, yeah. Hey, children. European and the African, come every nation, out of this decision love must stay, yeah. Holy mountain, Nayabano, come every nation, calling everyone to see a creation. Well, decision in your head, yeah. Holy mountain, Nayabano, come every nation, creation. Well, decision in your head.
Nature's own group on CultureShare, Mount Efwa. Well, from Mount Efwa, we're going to go on the mellow side of things, the loving side of things, the country and western side of things. Here's a gentleman out of St. Lucia who has always been on CultureShare, and we're proud to welcome him back on our program of CultureShare. I'm talking about Harold Delore. I want to introduce here on CultureShare another of those old-timers. Fitzgerald Cornelius Henry, alias or AKA the Mighty Terror, began singing calypso way back in 1947. Now that's a very, very long time ago. I mean, 1947. We're talking about, you know, just after the end of the Second World War. That's a long, long time to be singing calypso, and he's still active, appearing here and there and singing. He too had the opportunity of performing in New York for the Father's Day Calypso Classic, and Roy Jones took the opportunity to talk to him too and asked him, how did it all begin?
Now long ago, you find that the type of people used to go to the Calypso tents were the well-to-do people, the guffed up people, the people who are, you know, educated people and so on. And they always loved to hear strong lyrics, clean songs. And they found then that my song wasn't so suitable as an opener.
As an opener, okay.
I am sure with that song right now, if I sing that song, I mash up the place.
I think so.
But as an opener, you got to come clean.
Oh, okay.
You see? First impression.
Okay.
But that was in the first round.
Okay.
Now I had to sing in the second round. The second round I sang, Negroes Know Thyself.
That's the name of those.
That's the name of another song.
Okay.
In the second round, and I had to sing that song 3 times, the very night. In other words, the same mouth that just boo me, praised me in the second round.
Bound to compliment all the state bands for their excellent talent and fame they brought Trinidad down. Take this little tip from the terror, yes sir. State band come to stay forever. Yeah, I can hear me as in England. Everybody want to learn the big one. Now they want to organize a police steel band in Britain. Yeah, do re mi fa sol la ti do. Pan playing music, well anywhere you go. Bali bili bali bali li li. What a talent, excellent talent, you hear what I say. Steel band music is the greatest talent today. Yada ho ho, yada ho liva, lava lava ho, pa la liva, da da ho da ho ba, da ba do da do, lava do da da do. Trinidad, the founder of the steel bands. Now the talent is widely extended to other islands. Well, even quite in Europe and Australia, yeah. The people love to have this steel orchestra, yeah. In party dances and weddings, where your life is a steel band playing. So don't doubt what I say, hands really come to stay. Yeah, do re mi fa sol la ti do. Pan playing music, well anywhere you go. Bali bali gali bali li di. What a talent, excellent talent, you hear what I say. Steel band music is the greatest talent today. If I la da ba da blue, I be de be. People get astonished when they listen to the symphony music that is being played by the steel bands. The pioneer these days is seeing trouble, yes sir. Well, anytime you hear the oil drum grumble, yeah, I don't want to cause confusion, but guitar pans sweeter than organ, so again I would say, pans really come to stay. Yeah, do re mi fa sol la ti do. Pan playing music, well anywhere you go. Badi badi gali gali li. What a talent, excellent talent, you hear what I say. Steel band music is the greatest talent today. La da ho ho ho, la da da ho ho, la da di da, hey hey di ho ho, ali badi ali badi di da, badi ho, da di ho, la da ho da da. Well, anytime I hear a sweet steel band, man, the rhythm of the pounders make me jump like a madman. Carnival is no good without steel band. I'm sure you must agree with my opinion. Yeah, but the boys only need behavior. Don't start a fight when you drink your liquor. Live in unity and behave yourself properly. Yeah, do re mi fa sol la ti do. Pan playing music anywhere you go. Bali 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 bali. What a talent, excellent talent. You hear what I say? Steel band music is the greatest talent today. Yeah, bye. Baba,
You know, that's a show that folks would always remember. The great Father's Day Calypso Classic, featuring some of the old-time Caisonians and what it was like way back then. The Mighty Terror performing there for you on CultureShare. It's on that note, friends, that I have to say so long. On behalf of General Ben Productions, I want to say it's been my pleasure hosting yet another program of CultureShare, and this time we did it on the great outdoors. We hope you enjoyed the program, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Join us the same time when once again we'd have another program of CultureShare for you. In the meantime, between time, as they would say, keep those cultural fires burning. I'm Don Bobb, and enjoy the music as we leave you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. All right, are you ready? Are you ready? Say dollar, 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 la la la, dollar, la la. All right, rebel band, we coming down. 1, 2, 1, 2, jam it. When I sing, what? Oh, yo. You got to teach me, Mr. Trini, how to get that swing. Oh, yo. Easy. Put a cent piece in your left pocket, 5 cents in your right, 10 cents in your back pocket, safely out of sight, in front, under your belt, stick a dollar, no count. If you want to learn, I explain to all amigos. Cent, 5 cents, 10 cents, dollar, cent, 5 cents, 10 cents, dollar, cent, 5 cents, 10 cents, dollar, cent, 5 cents, 10 cents, dollar. She says she don't like the pace, we going too slow. She wants to walk up, she waits, raise the tempo. Cent, 5 cents, 10 cents, dollar, cent, 5 cents, 10 cents, dollar, cent, 5 cents, 10 cents, dollar, cent, 5 cents, 10 cents, dollar. When I thought I showing off and she can't take the grind, she won't leave all the small change. Give me, let me go. Dollar, 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 dollar. Give me dollar, give me, give me, give me dollar. Put your hand in the air. Put your hand in the air. Riggedy-giddy. 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 I want you all night at the party. She said to me, oh, what? Oh, yo. All the time you're moving your body, sweet and sexy. Oh, tell me again. Oh, yo. I hear that your hip movement is really called a wine. I don't mess with alcohol, but that wine is fine. I love the way you sing, throwing waist like rain right now. I want to learn, show me again. Cent, 5 cents, Are you ready? Check it out.